you delightful individuals, and welcome on in to the questionable game Emporium, where we play the most questionable of computer games, and of course, analyze them, observe them, and tell you what I think from a sex education point of view, and from an enthusiastic, deviant point of view. You know how it is. Today we're going to be playing a game called Love Sucks. Now, this game is a bit of a creepy game, a bit of a spooky game, because I thought we'd play something a little on the spooky side, given the fact that it's the spooky season, you know? We're hitting October, good old Halloween. I'm preparing the Halloween cabaret, getting everything sorted, getting everything up and running, and I thought a little spooky season here would also be a welcome part here. So this is a visual novel, as far as I know. It's a visual novel to do with delightful creatures and monsters and some description of it. It reminds me a little bit of Monster Prom from what I've seen, so I think it's probably going to follow that kind of idea, but I'm not entirely sure. Because naturally it's all very new to me. I don't know. I just thought I'd play something spooky, and this one piqued my interest, you know? For you delightful people, don't forget that you get the ultra censored version of this. I'm not sure how censored it's going to need to be, because it can be quite varied when it comes to visual novels. Sometimes they're super explicit and sometimes they're not. So I will tell you now that you're going to get the most censored version of this, because of course I have to fall within YouTube's terms of service. However, if you would like to see less censored or completely uncensored versions, then please scroll down into the description where you can get a link to the other platform where we are able to show you a little bit more there, you know? So yes, friends, let us see what this spooky visual novel has in store. How's it going, you delightful individuals? ValenVain from the editing suite here, just letting you know of your content warnings. For this one, it's quite a mild one, to be quite honest with you. The content warnings revolve around fantasies, individual fantasizing about having sex with certain other individuals, the occasional demon getting involved with things, and physical aggression in an alleyway. But other than that, this episode's been quite mild, though it does promise to get more fruity as time goes on, so enjoy. It is dark. It is mysterious. The hallowed season is upon us. It's time for a little Love Sucks. As it is spooky season, we are in the frame of mind for something a little more unusual and peculiar. And tonight we're going to be looking at Love Sucks Night 1. Now, this is a free game on Steam. This is completely free, or at least the first chapter is. Unlike previous games that we've played that have been free, it looks like this one is like the first chapter is free and then you have to pay thereon, which is actually quite a cool way of doing it if you're like an indie developer and you are like wanting people to come and have a look at your game, play the game, see what it's all about. But from what I understand, it's all about demons and monsters and the undead, oh my. So let's have a look at it, shall we? The dream always starts the same. I'm floating in a nebulous void. And then they arrive. They float to me, gather around me. I feel safe with them. They never seem to mean me any harm. But then they want more. They want too much. They want what I can't give. And then I wake up. Theo had been having the same dream every night for 2 weeks. Sounds like succubus to me. Already into the realms of succubus. We did a big thing on succubus, so we're all too aware that they have a deep connection to night terrors. Ever since the night they worked on their history papers at the library, every night about Jan and Anna. He didn't know what to make of it, or them. He was working with Jan, Anna, and his best friend Sarah at the library. In a flash of inspiration, he managed to come up with everyone's thesis statements. It was his junior year of college. Theo had gone away to school with his childhood friend Sarah. There, they met up with a fellow student, Adam, who gave them both nicknames. Theo's nickname is... Rock? Rock? Really? Of all of the names that you could have given yourself, Rock is it? No. Theo's name is Valen. Okay. Yes, it is. And Sarah's nickname is... Shaw Kitty. Okay. It's 5:30. I've got to get something to eat.
Hello, my honeys. It's the siren you're dying for. Cherry Bomb. Only on Crescent Valley Student Radio.
Thanks, Student Radio.
Quick reminder, Halloween's a-coming. This town is celebrating like only Crescent Valley can, with 3 fright-filled nights of ghoulish games and devilish delights.
I mean, to be fair, that does sound like my kind of party.
We'll be broadcasting live from the carnival starting tomorrow, but there's plenty more mischief to do around the town. But if you can't drink yet, there's always trick-or-treating at the science building and a spooky tour of the library.
Ooh, sounds delightfully interesting. I'm interested to find out why the library is the spooky bit. Libraries have a very spooky air about them, but maybe that's just because I watched Buffy the Vampire Slayer when I was growing up.
Anyway, music time.
Let's desperately hope there's no DMCA music here. Investigators reach out to federal authorities to solve museum theft. Federal authorities have been called in to aid the search of the missing talisman of Aldebelflb after its theft 2 weeks ago from the Crescent Valley Museum that left 3 guards hospitalized with unknown ailments. Sources close to the CVPD suspect the infamous crime syndicates responsible for high-profile bank robberies may be to blame, but it's too late. We got a call. Accept it. Hey, Adam. What's up? Am I listed in your phone as the most social man alive? Why would you think that? Oh, that means I definitely am. Well, it's fitting, isn't it? You're in every club on campus. Valen grinned. Except for a certain one. I don't bring up your failures. Don't bring up the horticulture club. It was an accident, okay? He's gonna talk my ear off. I could zone out. He'll stop at anything important. And I can always replay the conversation a bit in my head. I think it mostly boiled down to how we met. We were at that stupid freshman meet and greet, and that girl was bothering you, trying to get in your pants. So, you just wrapped your arms around me and Sarah and exclaimed, "Valen and Kitty, it's great to see you. Let's go outside and catch up, What's the problem again?" You walked up to 2 random people and gave them 2 random nicknames. And they stuck. I thought they were fitting at the time. At least it's not something boring like Booger or Tex. But it was Rock originally. Hold on a second. It was something boring. It was Rock. Rock and Kitty. I'm just glad I didn't get nicknamed Kitty. I don't know how Sarah stands it. Hey, you got a nickname and a roommate. It's pretty cool, right? If I find out you're passing out nicknames to other randos, I'm going to be very upset. I think it's only in my history class people call us by our real names. Why? We don't announce our nicknames like other people do. Small class means fewer people know, I guess. Anyway, how'd you find out about the most social man alive thing? Your twin told me. Figured Kitty got the contact card from you. She's not my twin. We look nothing alike. You two are dead ringers for each other. You even wear your hair clips the same way. It's a friendship thing. Why were you bothering her? Trying to convince her to come out to the festival in hopes it'll convince you too. You are persistent. And underhanded. Come on, man. It's going to be 3 whole days of parties, games, and dancing. Crescent Valley always goes all out on Halloween. And I don't want to see you squander it. Hell, the professors are helping set up the events with the clubs for Friday night. You know that Kitty and I have a huge test in a week and a half. You both study enough. Don't even have a costume. Besides, we can't follow you around all night. There's always those 2 from your history class. You still having that dream? Yeah, Did you ask Rachel about it? My girlfriend would like to remind you that she's a psychology major, not a dream reader. Right. And she says that dreams are reflections of your mental state. She thinks that you like those two, but you're worried that the relationship will destroy you somehow. Personally, I think you're worried that if you try and ask either of the girls out, it will take away from your career plans. Neither one would suit you. I've had a class with both of them. Jan's a bit aloof, but she's cool when you get to know her. She's got that ambition and drive. Her only problem is she's about as good at technology as my grandmother. Meanwhile, Anna is the sweetest girl you've ever met. A nice, caring girl that'll help you relax. They're way out of my league, though. All they probably see is me as a brain. This whole league thing blows my little mind. Never really fully understood the whole league thing, but self-negativity. Those people must be out of my league because I doubt myself. Oh. That's because they don't know about the monster that lives in the garage. Don't talk about my penis. It's weird. Well, someone has to think of the little guy. You're certainly not. Gah. Little hard-hitting commentary. No. Sammy scared me. He jumped up demanding food. Oh, the French fry cat. Valen reached into his bag and presented the cat with a French fry. The cat took it happily and nibbled at it. You can't let the cat outside of McThickburger be the only pussy that warms you up. Crude, but good wordplay. Admit it, college is not just about studying, but also about finding connections. You don't have a lot of those. At least think about it. All right, fine. Gotta get to class. I'll catch you later. Later, roomie. Valen hung up and sighed. What do you think, Sammy? Well, easy for you to say. You're not paying for dinner. Looks like Sammy found another sucker to trick after I gave him fries. Oh, hey, kitty. Didn't know you were here. When you saw Most Social Man Alive calling, you didn't think it was Adam. No, I knew it was him. I assumed he knew that you did that. Huh. I knew he'd take it as a compliment. Should we head out? Yeah. Bye, Sammy. Well. Nervous about getting our papers back? A little bit. You realize you probably saved our butts. The four of us were sitting there struggling and you figured out all our thesis statements. Moment of inspiration, I suppose. Jan and Anna helped with that? Kitty giggled, but Valen sighed. Still having the dream? Yeah. Adam thinks it's because I'm scared to ask them out. Kitty snorted. Yeah, and Bigfoot exists. Since we both have been looking at the same girls since we were 13, I will assure you they are way out of our league. Thank you. Try to explain that to him. Natural extroverts and the things they don't get about introverts. Oh wait, I'm an introvert? Oh, okay. Well, it's alright, roleplay. We can get in the mindset, I'm swear. Think you have a better chance with Naomi, perhaps? The other girl in the class? That'd require her to talk to somebody. She wouldn't even join us when we were working on our papers. I also think she'd probably punch me in the stomach. Yeah, probably. Jan or Anna before her. But I'll tell you something. If one of them asked me out... Yeah? Kitty looked like she was in a daze. Bury my head between their legs and eat that pussy till I fainted. Valen couldn't contain himself and burst out laughing. You wouldn't? No, I would. But trust me, I would. Valen was having trouble keeping focused in class. He normally did very well in Dr. Blankenship's class, but the dream kept coming to the fore of his mind. So, we can see how diplomacy is a powerful tool for change. Even two former bitter rivals, the US and Britain, Jan, would you mind? I'm trying, Dr. Blankenship. Jan attempted to fiddle with her phone to make it stop before Anna reached over. Here, I got it. Thank you, Anna. What are we going to do with you, Jan? You're the only undergrad I know that can't control her phone. I'm so sorry. It's all right, I'm teasing.
Now, where was I? Ah, yes, diplomacy.
Valen's eyelids felt extremely heavy. Thoughts of the girls kept swirling through his mind.
Speaking of diplomacy, the idea that you were wanted, that you were desired by someone, was a powerful thing. A primal force all on its own. To lock eyes with someone.
Why are there tentacles behind her head? What? Wait, what? What is going on here?
That spark for feeling. The desire between two people. Such a rarity, but something that every single one of us can understand. To some, that power had to have come from on high. Sorry, Dr. Blankenship. Here, Jan, let me see. I'm going to make you start turning it off before class. All right, everyone, class dismissed. I posted the grades for your papers. If there's anything you want to talk to me about, email me.
How did you do?
A-. God, you saved our asses. You know that.
Down the hall they saw the girls moving towards them.
Hey, Sarah. Can we talk to Theo for a minute? Oh, sure. See you tomorrow, Theo. Seems that we have received an A on our papers. It was really fantastic.
It was nothing.
It wasn't nothing, I assure you. If you didn't help, well, we might have failed us super hard.
Anna leaned in and pressed her chest against his shoulder.
So, to thank you, we want to take you out for the Halloween festivities this weekend.
Me?
Yeah, cutie. Don't you think that'd be nice? Let's go out and we'll show you a good time.
Anna traced her finger over his shirt and down the center of his chest.
Well, I mean, I want to do a little more than just walk around campus. Things might get a little interesting, if you catch my meaning.
Oh, there's a fang going on there. I see a little fang. You're dressed like a goth and you've got a fang. Definitely a vampire. Couldn't possibly be anything else.
Are you in?
Valen could have fainted.
Oh, all right. Sure. Yeah, good. We'll meet you at the Keller Squad tomorrow. 6:30 sharp. Don't tell anyone. We don't want to turn it into a party. Just some private time. And don't forget a costume. It is Halloween after all.
They turned to walk away.
We're gonna have a real good time.
We'll see you there.
Okay, so there is audio in this, but it is so quiet. And the audio for the voices only appears at certain points. That's a real shame, because if we just quickly pop into the preferences, as you can see, all of the options are at their limit, so it's not like I can turn it up any further, which is a pain in the hoop, but never mind. Valen watched the two girls walk away and felt a bit shell-shocked, his eyes following them as they exited the building. So, what was that about?
Ah! Kitty, I thought you left.
Yeah, but I had to know what they had wanted. So, what did they say?
Well, they...
Kitty's eyes went wide.
They asked you out, didn't they?
Shh! They said don't tell anybody. Were you eavesdropping?
No. The look on your face, it's priceless. Did you say yes?
Yeah.
That's great.
You're not jealous?
No, I'm glad.
She says, blushing, her playable character.
I mean, I would be lying if I said I wasn't a tiny bit jealous, but they seem to like you. He'll be great. Don't worry about me. I'll call up Adam and find something to do. I've got to get you a costume.
Oh. A lurker in the dark. Friday, October 29th, 5:57 p.m. The sun was setting as Valen headed out of his dorm for the Keller Memorial Quad. And is this me? Is that what I look like? I've gone dressed as a rogue pilot. Okay. He had about 30 minutes until he had to meet up with the girls. Just enough time to grab a snack at the Quick Go. With the vintage boomer jacket his uncle gave him long ago, he was hoping to pass as a World War II pilot. Nothing fancy, but not bad given the short notice. And I have a question mark hairpin. I love the way that myself and Kitty look very, very similar. The lights and sounds of the carnival blared in the distance, the Ferris wheel just peeking up over the tree line. He wondered if they were going to end up there. It was more likely that if they were meeting at the quad, they were going to do campus events, like tour of the library or trick-or-treating at the science building. Luckily, he hadn't seen Adam since this morning. If he found him putting together a costume, there would be no end to the questions. And if he found out Valen was going out with the girls, he'd try to get them all together. As he walked, he saw fellow co-eds wandering the campus, dressed in all sorts of fun outfits. Valen wondered what outfits the girls picked. I'm guessing one's a vampire. He promptly blushed. He cut into an alleyway between the two lecture buildings to save time. Even if he was still on campus, he never liked this alley anyway. Too many twists and turns, and the lights were always flickering. The sound of people laughing and noise of the carnival faded as he walked between the buildings. He rounded one of the corners and saw a figure waiting for him. That figure seems to have the silhouette of the one that is supposedly really violent that wears the eye patch.
Go home.
Alright. That's an interesting outfit you have, Naomi. Naomi is the vampire hunter. She had stakes strapped to her thigh. She is the vampire hunter. Alright, okay, we know where we stand now. She approached, stopping a few feet from him, blocking his path.
You need to go home.
You know my nickname?
I know a lot of things. Like how those two invited you out.
Valen groaned. God, does everyone know? They said don't tell anyone.
The truth is, those two plan to drain you tonight.
Excuse me? Well, you never know where the night might take us.
Not like that, you idiot!
Alright.
They plan to murder you tonight, and they want to keep it a secret so they can get away with it!
Somebody is very aggro. And why would they want to do that? Naomi adjusted her stance and took a breath.
You're going to say you don't believe me, but they're monsters.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. At this point, my character definitely does not believe you. Valen just stared at her for a moment with a blank expression. It's good that you already knew my response. But now that you mention it, I do remember Anna saying something about loving chainsaws and dismembering bodies.
No, I mean they're fucking monsters. Jan's a vampire, which is why you don't see her outside during the day, and Anna's a succubus, which is why you can't keep your eyes off her tits.
I mean, fair. I don't. Valen blushed before he furrowed his brow. And you know this how?
Because it's my job to keep monsters in line, and killing humans is crossing it. Tell me where you're supposed to meet them, then go home. I will take care of it.
No?
No? What do you mean, no?
I don't know what your problem is with them. They're good people. And I'm not going to share in your delusion. This whole spooky co-ed roommates thing sounds like a bad urban legend. You're not fooling me, Naomi. He moved past her and kept walking. Naomi trailed after him.
I'm not trying to fool you. I'm trying to save you, dickwad!
Valen stopped and turned to face her. You know what? I've missed out on enough things in my life because I had second thoughts. And I'm missing a date with those two because someone told me they're monsters. Sounds like life has run out of ideas to foul up a good night. I'm not the kind of guy to stand up a girl, let alone two. Valen started to walk away.
Wait.
He stopped, but didn't turn around. What?
Is this the part where you say monsters don't exist?
Valen rolled his eyes and sighed. Yeah, Naomi. This is the part where Valen was forcefully jerked back by an iron grip and then quickly spun around. Naomi lifted him off the ground with one hand. Valen was a few inches shorter than her, but still, she did so with no effort. Valen barely had time to process what was going on before she slammed him into the wall, knocking the air out of him. He struggled to breathe as she slipped her eye patch off.
Now comes the part where I show you
Monsters exist!
This escalated. This escalated a little bit. She revealed an eye with a black sclera and yellow glowing iris. 2 onyx-coloured horns sprouted from her forehead as her canines elongated into a snarl. Valen wanted to scream, but couldn't get the air into his lungs to do so. He tried to figure out any way that this was some kind of trick, but came up blank. After a tense moment, Naomi dropped him. Valen struggled to breathe as he backed against the wall.
Now, tell me where you were going to meet them.
and let me do my job.
He watched in amazement as her horns and teeth began to recede. You're a...
Yep, glad I was able to figure out your response.
She adjusted her eye patch back into place and glared down at him as Valen continued to stare up at her. They just stared at each other for a moment before Naomi frowned and put a hand on her hip.
This is generally the part where people tell me what I want to know before running away screaming. Or, at the very least, yell out something like, "Don't hurt me."
Naomi sighed and rubbed the bridge of her nose.
Please don't be the frozen in fear type. I don't have a lot of time right now.
If you wanted to hurt me, you would have. Naomi's lips twitched into something close to a smirk. She seemed almost impressed.
Well, that is a surprise. Maybe you are as smart as you look.
She reached down to offer him a hand, and the same one that lifted him into the air a moment ago.
Look, I didn't mean to shatter your worldview. I'm having a rough day and I'm a bit stressed out.
He looked at her hand, his heart still racing in his chest. He hesitantly took it, and she lifted him without an ounce of effort.
All right, you have stupid questions. Ask them.
I have many stupid questions. Many stupid questions. This was an escalation and a half. I was not ready for what was about to ensue. However, now I'm excited. All of those days of Buffy the Vampire Slayer playing through my little teenage dreams have now come to an absolute head. Let's go. Oh, and this is where the gameplay comes in. Of course. We actually get interaction on this interactive novel. Monsters really exist? What are you? Let's go monster. Do it in order. No, my eye glows because I had laser eye surgery. Yes, monsters exist. Next question. What did you expect me to say? Okay, fine. Yes, they have always existed. Just like every urban fantasy. Hiding in plain sight. Where your legends come from. Blah, blah, blah. The difference, though, is there's no monster's secret world. No coalition of monsters, no separate cities, and no secret schools. Monsters hide amongst you because they have to. Have to. I don't know if you've heard, but humans, as a group, are really good at killing anything that isn't them. Particularly things that eat them. Hell, you killed Neanderthals, and they were you. When humans started building civilizations, monsters wanted in on the clothes, shoes, and booze. So they blended in and adapted. Some still killed humans, either to feed or because they felt like they had the right. But the humans' march of progress started to make that harder with better weapons, communications, and criminal investigation techniques. criminal investigation techniques?
Yeah, murder is a lot harder than it used to be, Valen. Most of the dangerous monster species went extinct a long time ago. The rest are watered down. A few species still need to feed on humans, but they don't really kill anymore, they just kind of nibble.
Those two feed on humans?
Yes, that was my dire warning to you.
But wouldn't that raise suspicion in such a small town?
Ah, intelligent question. They don't need to kill people to feed, but they still have to feed. Jan feeds on blood, Anna on life force.
Life force? Oh, she makes you die sooner?
It's more like your vitality, your active energy. Generally only enough to knock you out. And it's not just sexual fluids, lover boy. She can get you through touch. Both of them make you fall asleep and wake up the next day feeling hungover. Something easily explained away on the booze-riddled college campus. Jan has put people into the hospital though. But neither of them have killed. Yet.
So what are you?
I'm a Cambion.
A what?
She rolled her eye. Part monster, specifically, I'm a quarter demon.
But who are you really then? Some kind of supernatural police officer or something?
I'm from an organization whose goal is to keep monster kind
secret,
contained. Most monsters want to live in peace. Our job is to keep the rowdy ones at bay. For the most part, just knowing we're out there keeps them in line.
So then you are some sort of trained immortal agent pretending to be a college student?
No, I'm 20, here on a scholarship program. Keeping tabs on the local cryptids is more like a work-study thing.
So why do they want to kill me?
Finally, we're getting to the heart of the matter. It's complicated.
Try me. Kept up so far. I'm not exactly a Nimrod.
Naomi's eyebrow raised for a moment as she folded her arms. You heard about the robbery at the museum?
You mean the one where the exhibit was ransacked? I thought that was the bank robbing gang.
With the masks? No, too small scale. Besides, the whole town would have heard the techno. Valen perked a brow.
Okay, so I'm guessing it was the girls?
Yes. They stole the talisman of Aldabelf. Aldabelfi?
I'm just going to call it the MacGuffin.
It's an old witch artifact from the Crescent Valley's heyday.
What does it do?
It's a very human thought process to think a magical object does one thing. Your average magical trinket can be used for a variety of spells. And you can combine them with others to produce more powerful effects. The MacGuffin, by itself, is nothing particularly powerful. That's why the museum had it. I detected its magical signature in class last week, and it's got new and powerful aura. One that matches a blood ritual. That ritual allows a pair of monsters to mature into more powerful forms if they kill a particular human being by feeding on them. For Jan, she'll ascend to a vampire lord, able to start her own clan. For Anna, she'll turn into a full succubus, able to fully change into any form she wishes. The two of them combined, there's no telling what they could do with these powers.
And you sure this is what they're doing with it? You said it can have other purposes, right?
Well, they could be summoning bears. Let me ask you this. Had any strange dreams lately? According to my research, the target human will start to have... Naomi pulled a thick leather-bound book from inside her jacket and flicked through the pages. Best I can decipher, wet dreams?
No, not wet dreams, just
regular ones. About the girls. Sexual. I don't think they're summoning bears then. So why me? Why not someone else? That, I don't know. It says a specific human. Could be your blood type, age, sign you were born under, all of the above. I don't know.
but it is you. And it gets worse. It gets worse? Blood rituals usually just get worse. They have a time limit to kill you. If they fail to do it, the resulting backlash will horribly maim all 3 of you. They'll probably survive. You'll likely die. Valen suddenly felt sick. So, what are you gonna do? I thought we were past the point of asking stupid questions. What do you think I'm gonna do? You're gonna kill them? I'm under orders. Neutralize their abilities to perform this ritual or neutralize them. If one of the monsters nulls the pact or dies, the other can't complete it. So if I get the drop on them, I can probably get at least one of them before the other kills me. Wait, what? She became somber. I'm in a weakened state until Halloween. I could take on one of them, but probably not both. I'm not thrilled about it, but it's my job. Do me a favor and name a kid after me or something. The colour left Valen's face. What if they're making a mistake? Doing 40 and a 25 is a mistake. Starting a fucking blood ritual is not. You can't be like, monster cops, hand over your magical artifact. No, it doesn't work like that. If I get found out as a monster cop, they have to join or die. And they can't join because they feed on humans. Valen grabbed his stomach. He felt physically ill. I don't want this. Why would you be willing to die for this? For me? Because this is what has to be done. You humans are too frail to avenge yourselves, and too stupid to see beyond a tight shirt and a short skirt. A pair of monsters are plotting to become more powerful with a magical artifact by killing a human, by killing you. This is exactly what my organization exists to prevent. To put dangerous monsters down. They're not monsters, Naomi. They're people. People just like you. Naomi was a bit surprised at this statement. They have hopes and flaws, and something must have forced their hand for them to do this. I don't want them to die. I certainly don't want you to die for me. And I'm sure you don't want to die for me either, do you? Naomi looked away, arms folded. Not particularly. But I have my orders. Neutralize them or neutralize their ability to complete the ritual. Then what if we can neutralize the ritual? You said it yourself. If you have the thing, you can figure out what it does. Does that include a way to make it not work? Naomi looked at him for a moment, considering things. Maybe. But what's your plan? I'll meet up with them. And get the MacGuffin thing. And how are you gonna do that? I don't know. I'll figure something out. What do we have to lose? You have a lot to lose. Your life, for starters. Better than sitting back and watching you lose yours. What do you say? This is a terrible idea. And you have to be the biggest fucking moron I've ever met in my life. A good-natured fucking moron, but a fucking moron nonetheless. Don't suppose you have any protection? If you're going out on a date, I'd hope you have condoms. I have one. The one I carry in my wallet. You're going out with 2 girls, and you brought 1 condom. God, you're a fucking dork. I meant like a magic item or a spell to cast or something like that. Well, there is one thing. I found a powerful spell that offers protection to the target of a ritual with this harmonic signature. So I'll be immune? That I don't know. These ancient mages never explained shit properly. A rune is placed onto the recipient. When they touch the MacGuffin, they will gain knowledge of future events. Whatever that means. But it's more than your 1 condom. It also requires you to be bound to someone. That would be me. You also have to pick out a phrase and say it during the ritual. I have to repeat it. I don't understand it, but let's make it snappy. Something easy to remember and say under 10 letters. What should the key phrase be? Butt sex. Butt sex. That's the go-to phrase that we have gone with, is it? Okay. I'm gonna change that to safe word, because a safe word is extremely important and the best way to get out of it, all of the situations. Best way to signal that things are not all right. Put out your hand and it'll put a mark on you. Temporary? She shrugged. Probably. Valen's face twisted in concern and Naomi scowled. So risking your life for 2 monsters is fine, but you're being bitch over a potentially sweet-ass tattoo? Valen blushed and looked away. Give me your damn hand. Valen presented his hand to her as she opened up her book. She closed her eyes and began to chant in a strange language. Hoc est fatum quam interpretae conatur volo furumen eu. Hoc est fatum quam interpretae conatur volo furumen eu. A rune slowly etched itself onto the back of Valen's hand, glowing red as it formed. He watched it spin slowly on his hand as Naomi finished, amazed that such a thing was even possible. Now the caster has to touch you and repeat the magical passphrase, while concentrating on the magical sigils. Naomi reached out with her hand. Ready? Valen nodded as he moved forward to her hand. Safe word. There. That should do it. Whatever it is. She sighed as she looked down at the rune, which slowly faded from red to being a little darker than his skin. She looked up at him. You're a good man, Valen. She nodded as she moved her hand away. Try not to die. That's the best you have right now? Well, I already tried don't put your dick in crazy, but you seem hell-bent on that. Go and get me that MacGuffin, lover boy. Alright, I think that's a good place to end episode 1 of this visual novel, as it were. This is interesting. I don't know how much is left of the of chapter 1 of night 1 here, but it's definitely got like part Monster High, part Buffy the Vampire Slayer vibes, and I have to say that I am absolutely loving it. I'm really enjoying it. It's a really interesting dynamic playing a character that's also third person in a visual novel. It's not like things happen to you, it's this is Valen. This is the person you have decided. Can't believe they used butt sex as a password. Dear Lord. Anyway, yeah, it's fun. It's interesting and peculiar and intriguing. We haven't had that many like X-rated scenes just yet. However, I feel like a few are but round the corner. So we will see where the rest of Night 1 takes us in this glorious little game. Thank you very much for watching, you beautiful individuals. Obviously, there's quite a bit that had to be cut out there because YouTube policies do not allow us to have that kind of stuff on YouTube. So if you would like to check out the full story, or you would like to see the X-rated scene that you did miss, then please scroll down into the description and click the link down there to get access to all of those things. If you are a follower on that website, then you get access to a less censored version of the tale, and if you're a subscriber, you get access to the X-rated scenes not only of this game but of all of the games on the Questionable Game Emporium. Okay, so yeah, we will continue with this game to find out what endeavors our dear hero Valen, the pathetic, happy-go-lucky yet intelligent scamp that he is, gets involved in with all of these monsters. All these tantalizing monsters. I'm just waiting to find out that all of the people I know are actually monsters in disguise, but we'll find that out. We'll find that out next time, okay? So until next time, you glorious individuals, look after yourselves, and we'll see you next time on the Questionable Game Emporium.